Good evening and welcome to an area of Wales that I've never been to before. Check out this incredible view looking down the valley on my left, and I've already actually been to the base of the waterfall that I'm now heading to the top of. And I'm not going to reveal anything until I get there, because this is probably one of the most spectacular waterfalls that I have ever seen. It is incredibly high, incredibly beautiful, and with all the signposts around, I imagine incredibly popular as well. But I'm now just going to enter some woodland. That's going to take me down to the very top of this fall. So I'm now at the top of this waterfall, and as you may have guessed, right down here is a waterfall called Pistyll Rhaeadr, and I think it's the tallest single drop waterfall on mainland Britain, and I think the single drop is about 80 metres, and then it goes through a tiny little arch and then drops about another 10 metres. It's absolutely incredible here. The view down the valley is breathtaking, and the sound of the crashing water just echoes in the woods here. So I'm right up on this high moorland plateau, and I've got one of the most epic views in front of me. Now, as I say, I've never been here before. All of this terrain is completely new. I've never even seen it driving past or anything. And look at that, these peaks here, 827 metres, both of them. But there is a slightly higher point between the two at 830 metres. And this broad sort of rounded peak here is, I think, is it pronounced Sych or Sych? I don't know, it's S-Y-C-H. If I pan around over here, the pointed peak is Cadair Berwyn, and that is the highest point in this entire mountain range, known as the Berwyns. And it's just up there, probably in a little col. I'm going to be having a wild camp. So I've made it here onto the 827 metre summit of Moel Syke. I'm going to call it Moel Syke because I'm quite psyched to be up here. This is a beautiful peak, very rounded, but such an extensive view. I've just come from this direction. England is over that way, and I can see literally thousands and thousands of summits from here. But I'm not going to focus on those at the moment because the two peaks just over here are my next goal. So the very left is 827 metres, so the same height as where I am now. It's got a trig point on there, and then the pointed peak to the right is actually the highest point at 830 metres, and that is Cadair Berwyn. So here I am now on the summit of Cadair Berwyn, 830 metres above sea level, and what an incredible view looking east down this incredibly steep kind of east face here. Let me just balance my way across. I can see down to a small sort of mountain tarn there, and lots of new plantations down here. I don't know the name of either of these valleys or any of the peaks around me, other than this trig point just over there. That's the 827 metre top. This is the highest point. That's the trig. I'm going to head over there now and then perhaps head back. I'll check out the shelter and see if I can find somewhere to pitch. Here I am now at the trig point, 827 metres. There's the 830 metre summit, and then the other 827 over there of Moel Syke. And this is where I'm going to sort of take in the view. Although I've got a slight restriction to the southeast, everywhere else it is just epic.
all pitched up. It's 9 PM. It's actually a lot later than I thought it was. I thought it was only about 8. But looking at the sun over there, we've still got about 45 minutes before the sun starts to set. And I will get a time lapse ready, I think in about 15 or 20 minutes. But for the moment, I'm going to have something to eat. And today I brought macaroni cheese from Expedition Foods. So it's the massive meal, 1,000 calories. Only because tomorrow, if all goes to plan, I've got another big walk to do. But I've got a nice little pitch here just below the summit. I'm actually nestled right next to the shelter. So if anything goes wrong, I can always bail and head into the shelter. But yeah, it's a little bit breezy. Wind speed's probably 20-25 miles an hour. It's not meant to get any stronger than this. And I would say the wind chill is probably about 8 degrees. It's a bit cold. If I wasn't wearing a fleece, I would be cold now. And if anyone's interested in kit, what I brought is my Neutrino 200 sleeping bag. It's good down to about 0. It's not meant to freeze tonight. And then I've got my Neo Air Xtherm Light sleeping mat, nice and comfy. And then Sea to Summit inflatable pillow. And then the tent is my Outkit Polestar. And this is only the second time I think I've ever actually been out in it. The last time was on Blencathra last year. But really nice to get it back out again. Nice to have a tent that's nice and light, that packs down really small and is really sturdy. Although it's flapping around in the wind a lot at the moment, when it is zipped up, it's really sturdy. Anyway, on with some dinner.
Good morning. It is 7:15. I've already packed up and I haven't actually cooked breakfast or anything like that because the wind where I'd camped was really quite ferocious. Now I'm literally 5 minutes away from where I camp now and it's not too bad here, but I mean the forecast was for 20-25 mile an hour winds and for it to be sunny this morning. And I would say last night it was persistent, at least 35, maybe even some 40 mile an hour gusts. And obviously I woke up in the cloud, although it has just broken. Although Cadair Berwyn is still just in the cloud behind me, but I've literally just dropped below the cloud and there's this amazing view, and that's actually the route down that I'm going to take. So I'm going to follow this path around here, and then there's one that goes down this grassy ridge past what I can see is a couple of mines, I think, down towards the tarn, and then it follows a gentle descending path back down to the valley. And then I'm probably going to chill out for the day. I didn't sleep very well at all last night, probably no more than about 40 minutes at a time. Even with earplugs in, the wind was just shaking the tent so much, which is such a shame. But I feel okay at the moment. I feel quite rested. I'm just going to enjoy this walk down. So making my way down the grassy ridge now, and I'm actually almost down at the tarn here. This tarn is Llyn Cluncors, and there's actually lots of evidence of mine working in this area that's not marked on the OS map. It shows it as just being sort of bare hillside, but actually if I go back up here, you can see a big spoil heap down here, and there's a cut into the hillside there. There's another one just on that side and a third over there, and I can actually make out the original miners track there's a line that runs and contours its way along the hillside over there, and you can actually see where they've cut away a bit of the hillside, and then it goes down, and I'm guessing it's going to go down the track that I'm going to use for my descent.